Charlotte's #1 country, 103.7 WSOC.
Yacht Club tonight, the first voyage of the season. The Lost Trailers, our special guest, and they're joining us here at Red Rocks in Burkdale Village. I can remember a time when the Lost Trailers couldn't afford a phone. They couldn't pay the phone bill. Is that an iPhone we're jamming with over there?
That is. Well, I was just trying to Google what we were talking about a second ago, which is, and if anybody out there in Charlotte knows, please come by and let us know. On tortilla chips, where do those little black dots come from that are in the tortilla chips? That's what we're trying to figure out. I was just Googling that on my iPhone.
The conversation has deteriated.
Yes, it has. Well, you hang out long enough,
we also Twitter on our iPhones. And
that's right.
You can go on there and check out our Twitter thread and also our MySpace page, myspace.com.
Do you know how many followers you have?
A bunch.
It's getting up there, man. It's Twitter's a lot of fun.
Well, but this is my one big major problem with Twitter.
Okay.
This next statement can never be said in a masculine way.
But can I Twitter it?
No. This. Hey, I was just checking out Ryder's tweet.
Yeah.
There's no way you can be masculine about that.
Right.
And so that's my problem with Twitter. Whoever thought of the names for these things really needs to have their head examined, because I don't care how legit it is. I will never say I'm looking at another man's tweet. I'm just not going to do it.
That's good to know.
That was in our wedding vows. If she should ever come up,
thou shalt not look at another man's tweet.
There you go. That's right.
And no matter how much you love it, and I know you do, you're living your dream, and you said you're booked up solid for months to come, and that's a wonderful thing to do. But does it ever get hard, the traveling, the constant on the road? What's the toughest thing about it?
Well, we've shaken it up this year. We've started this lean, clean, and local tour. Once the recession hit, we did a show with Tim McGraw at the end of last year, and we hired local. And we had a guy come up to us and say, guys, thanks so much for hiring local guys to work the show, because we haven't had checks in a couple of weeks. So me and Ryder got together and we're like, you know what, let's change the way we do touring in 2009. And we've been hiring local crew and everywhere we've been playing instead of bringing our own crew from Nashville. And it has made touring this year so special, because we've been able to meet so many people around this country and also put more money into local communities when we come through and play, and instead of just playing the show and leaving. And so I think that if you shake up your tour every year, you change things, you tweak things, and it never gets old. And definitely the Lean, Clean, and Local tour this year has been a blessing for us and for these communities that we play.
Check it out at leancleanandlocal.com. There's a lot of interviews of the local businesses that we've hired. We have to rent local gear and local crew, like Stokes was saying, and local folks, because we're flying into these things. We're not bringing out the bus this year. That's part of it as well. And we've also partnered with Keep America Beautiful, and they're coming out to all our shows and recycling all the, as y'all know, the bottles and cans that tend to pile up at the Lost Trailer show. So that's been cool too. And
y'all could finance the recession with just your recycling.
You're about right, man. There's going to be some on the boat tonight, I imagine.
That's right.
That's good stuff you're doing. That's great.
And what's really cool about that is, I don't know if people realize how much extra work that piles on you and your people to set up. It would be a lot easier for you guys just to have a Nashville crew that followed you guys around from town to town, but to go to that trouble, that's really cool.
Well, it is, but here's the deep thing, man. We're doing all right. It's tough out there right now, and with things being little tough right now. That's the lean part of the tour. We just want to run a little bit leaner, work a little bit harder. If that means it might not be as comfortable for us, but it's you got to reflect the times. There's a time to prosper and a time to be a little bit more humble, and we're in the more humble times right now.
Two-part question here with the Lost Trailers, Ryder and Stokes. So we've been talking about how you've in the past just several years you've come from literally nothing to now you're starting to feel a little bit of taste of success. At what point along that route, and I imagine it's happened in the last year, did y'all look around at each other and say, dang, we get to do this? What's the coolest thing?
I think the Kenny thing for me, it was the Kenny thing when we were shooting our video in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Kenny Chesney was playing across the town, and he invited us to not only to the show but get on stage and be his backing band for a couple of songs. And I remember that was the moment where I looked around to the rest of the guys and I was like, hold on, we're backing Kenny Chesney right now in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and how did we get here? It was just a great feeling. Now, if you want to check it out, you can go on YouTube, type in Kenny Chesney and the Lost Trailers. You can see that performance there, but for me, it was that moment.
For me, it was, I think, the first time when we, last summer when Holler Back started to hit, and it wasn't just like the first few rows of folks singing it back, as far back as you could see, in the back in the grass in the back at the amphitheaters when we were opening up shows, you could see people hollering back. And to me, that was like, you know what? People know us. People know our songs, and that's what it's all about.
And I think the thing that we're proud about is our sound is definitive. When Holler Back comes on the radio, this is the Lost Trailers.
Now that you don't comes on, it's us too.
And so I think for us, the ultimate goal is just to keep on doing this throughout our career, is making music that is definitively us, and that is stuff that make people want to tune into your radio station and come out to shows and come on to boats.
With a bunch of rednecks like us and have a blast.
My biggest problem with the Lost Trailers is just trying to squeeze words out of them.
That's right.
They never have, anything but yes and no answers for crying out loud.
And they're always writing. They say they're always thinking. So,
We'll have part 2 of the question, and I have a feeling I know what it is before I even ask it. Coming up in just a few, we'll hear the new single as well as we continue from Burkdale Village, Red Rocks with the Lost Trailers on WSOC.